Moral boundaries in a modern world. Ancient wisdom for today's challenges. Hey everyone, welcome back to Modern Reflections, the channel where we dig into timeless truths to make sense of our hectic world. Today we're asking a big question. How can ancient teachings about boundaries help us navigate modern ethics? The answer is both surprising and a little entertaining. From the boundary stones of ancient Israel to modern debates about personal and societal limits, we're diving into what boundaries mean, why they matter, and how we've been ignoring them at our own peril. Let's jump in. So, what exactly are moral boundaries? Picture this. Boundaries are like fences for our actions. They define what's right, what's wrong, and what's, well, a little questionable. In ancient times, boundaries were often physical, like stones marking property lines, but they symbolized something deeper: respect, fairness, and trust. Crossing a boundary wasn't just rude. It could get you a very angry neighbor or a divine lecture. These stones weren't just markers, they were moral statements. Fast forward a few millennia and the idea of boundaries hasn't gone anywhere, it's just evolved. Think about the Ten Commandments. They're essentially moral boundary markers. Don't steal, don't lie, don't covet. You get the idea. Now compare that to today's ethical dilemmas. Whether it's online trolling or corporate greed, the issue is often the same. Someone's crossing a line they shouldn't. Classic case of boundary breaking, that one person who thinks freedom of speech means freedom to be a jerk. Ancient wisdom would say, know your limits, buddy. In a world as connected and chaotic as ours, boundaries are more crucial than ever. They're what keep us from turning every disagreement into a full-blown disaster. Moral boundaries remind us to respect others, honor commitments, and to maybe think twice before oversharing on Instagram. Take environmental boundaries, for example. When we ignore limits like overfishing or deforestation, we're not just crossing a line, we're bulldozing it. And guess what? Nature always fights back. Here's what ancient teachings get right. Boundaries aren't just about saying no. They're about protecting what's valuable. The Bible's boundary stones weren't just property markers, they were symbols of fairness, accountability, and trust. And moving a boundary stone, oh boy, that was a big no-no. It was the ancient equivalent of hacking someone's bank account, but with more sweat and fewer keyboards. Lesson number 1. Respect what's been set before you. Whether it's a family tradition or someone's personal space, boundaries exist for a reason. So, how do we apply these lessons today? Start with the basics. Know your boundaries. Whether it's setting healthy limits in relationships or standing up against injustice, clarity is key. And don't forget, boundaries aren't just about keeping others out. They're also about defining what you stand for. Because if you don't set your own boundaries, someone else will. And trust me, you probably won't like it. All right. Explorers of the ethical world, it's your turn. What's one moral boundary you think we should all respect more? Let me know in the comments below, and don't hold back. And if you've enjoyed this mix of history, ethics, and my attempts at humor, hit that like button and subscribe. Because let's face it, the world could use a few more boundary-respecting citizens. Ancient wisdom, modern lessons. Protect your boundaries, shape your world.